Hey everyone, welcome back to Cruising with Matthew, and today I'm going to be giving you all a cabin tour of our balcony suite which we had on board Fred Olsen's Borealis during our cruise in December 2021. So hopefully this video will give you an idea as to what you can expect if you book into one of these cabins. So I really hope you enjoy this video. So me and my boyfriend Yayan had actually booked an outside cabin for our 5-night cruise to Spain in December 2021 on board Fred Olsen's Borealis. However, when we arrived at the terminal in Liverpool, we were massively surprised by the fact that we'd actually been upgraded to what I found out later to be a balcony suite. And this was a massive surprise because I have never ever been upgraded before on any ship that I've been on, so this was a really pleasant surprise. Our cabin was a JB grade balcony suite, cabin 6103, which is situated right at the front of the ship, a deck below the bridge. First impressions of the cabin were really positive, as the decor itself was absolutely beautiful and it felt really welcoming but also airy at the same time, so we were over the moon with this cabin. The bed is a large queen size bed with ample space for the two of us, although a quirky feature was the fact that it actually was made up of 2 single duvets, not a double. This may be an issue for some people, however I found it quite good because it meant that there was no chance of Yayan stealing my half of the duvet, so it actually worked out quite well in my opinion, but it definitely made me laugh when I got into bed on the first night. Now adjacent to the bed there's also 2 bedside tables, so there's ample storage space here for any books and things like that. Moving into the living area, there was a really comfy sofa here, as well as a nice table which was adorned with some flowers, as well as a complimentary fruit basket which we really appreciated. And on the side of the sofa there's also this really quirkily designed lamp, as well as a mini fridge underneath. And the mini fridge itself was quite a decent size for this size of cabin and did what it said on the tin, which is always good. Directly opposite the sofa was a decent sized TV, and it had a good interactive menu, with the entertainment section offering a range of films, although we didn't use this because we were always occupied with all the stuff that was going on ashore or on the ship itself. I also appreciated the variety of other sections within the TV, as it was nice to be able to keep up to date with your onboard spend here as well, and I really enjoyed using the ship tracker so I could figure out where we were, and a nice feature is that it also lets you know where the other members of the Fred Olsen fleet are as well, which I think is really nice. Adjacent to this is a large writing desk with those all important tea and coffee making facilities, which I made the most of every morning on Borealis, as well as a large mirror. There were 2 USB ports here, as well as a UK plug socket. I really appreciated that they also had a helpful little folder which detailed all the important information about your cruise. There is also a minibar which is normally stored in the fridge, but we weren't sure if this was included within the cabin, so we just put it to one side, which is why it's on the desk. However, as you can see, there was quite a good range of drinks if that is what you fancy. Now moving towards the bathroom, the cabin had a good sized wardrobe which had more than enough hanging space for me and my boyfriend, and also featured a small safe as well as the obligatory life jackets. The bathroom was pretty standard for a cabin of this size, but it was really well fitted out and felt really modern in comparison to other similar sized bathrooms that I've been on other ships. A big plus was the fact that this bathroom featured a really big shower. My biggest issue here was the shower basin because it had basically no raised threshold, so whenever it was rough weather during our cruise, which unfortunately being a December cruise in the Bay of Biscay, it was choppy for pretty much the entire cruise. Whenever you had a shower, even if you had the water running on low, water would just flow out of the shower and into the bathroom. So I hope they change this in the future because it could be a slip hazard, especially if the ship is moving a fair bit. However, the shower itself was fantastic. It just needs some form of barrier an inch or 2 higher to make sure water doesn't flow out of the shower. Now moving out of our cabin and stepping out onto the balcony, I was really impressed with this space. It's just a shame that it was a wet and windy December cruise, because if the weather had been nicer, we'd have used it a lot more than we did during this cruise, as it was a really deep balcony and the deck chairs were quite comfy as well. And with it being a glass fronted balcony, you could sit here, read your book and enjoy the fantastic sea views. Even though the weather wasn't great in our cruise, I used it as much as I could, and I have to admit, I really enjoyed getting up early and watching the ship sail into port with a nice cup of coffee. And the maritime geek in me really loved being so close to the bridge, because occasionally you could see the ship's officers manoeuvring the ship from that bridge wing, which I really appreciated. It was especially impressive watching the ship sail into Getxo, which is the port for Bilbao, because you got to see the waves crashing against the breakwater, and it just felt really atmospheric, and I absolutely loved that, even if I did get a little soggy on the balcony. However, I imagine on cruises to places like the Mediterranean, this will be a perfect spot for you to relax during the day and evening. Now, as I mentioned, this cabin was a balcony suite, and as a result, you have several amenities included within your fare as part of Fred Olsen's Sweet Dreams package. These include a variety of little extras that I've already mentioned, like the fresh fruit basket, as well as bathrobes and slippers. You'd also get these yummy little afternoon canapes, which was a nice surprise to have every afternoon as well. You also had, for the duration of your stay, these reusable water bottles, and these were super useful on excursions, as well as the Fred Olsen branded umbrellas. We certainly made the most of them on our excursion to Santiago de Compostela. The suite also features an atlas and binoculars, however I didn't realise that we had these until the last night, which was a little frustrating, and there's also the option, if you need it, a complimentary pressing service for your formal wear. One thing to note, however, is that unlike suites on other lines such as Cunard and Celebrity, you don't have the benefit of things such as suite dedicated areas. However, I think that's due to the fact that these ships are medium to small size ships, so I don't think there is enough space to do this, but just something to bear in mind if you're used to going on cruise lines with bigger ships. Now overall, we were really impressed with this cabin, and I would jump at the opportunity to go in one of these again. However, with them being suites, they are likely to be out of my budget unless we're lucky enough to be upgraded again. The cabin itself was beautiful and definitely felt very refreshed after its refit when Borealis came into service. The only criticism I have is the issue with the shower, but also do note that these cabins are situated right at the front of the ship, so believe me, we definitely felt the motion of the ocean when we were bouncing around the Bay of Biscay. Me and Yayan absolutely love this cabin, but I fear that Fred Olsen might have spoilt Yayan by having this fantastic cabin for his first cruise. So I really hope you enjoyed the tour of our balcony suite on board Fred Olsen's Borealis. If you have, please like and subscribe because it's always appreciated. And if you want to know more about Cruising with Matthew, then take a look at my social media channels. The links are in the description below. I hope that you're all doing well with everything at the moment, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. So until next time, this is Cruising with Matthew, and thank you so much for watching.